Hi, Kia. Hi. Oh my goodness. Hi, everybody. Capricorn's very own Arpita. Hi, love. Hi, Claire. Hi, Nikki. Hi, Alicia. Hi, Joshua. Hi, Rennie. Oh my goodness. Thank you. So don't laugh at my sign. Do you see the thing? It like fell. I just noticed that. I got a new sign and the little dot thing, it's like hanging off. I forgot to fix it this weekend. So let's not critique it. Hi, everybody. Oh my goodness. Look at everybody. I love it. I love it. Where's everybody from? Oh, thank you. So good to see you too. Oh, I love you so much, Bursu. Hi, Miriam. Hi, Albie from London. Arpita. Hi. Hi, Sparkle Sparkle. Can you talk about, wait, it scrolls so quick. Can you talk about manifesting when in a tough family scenario, stuck at my parents' house in a toxic environment? It gets hard to keep my head up. That is hard. Not going to fucking lie, but it's not impossible. And that's all that matters, right? So when we're stuck in underneath the same roof of people that show up a certain way where we're being hurt emotionally, it is tough. But the goal is this: I would do as much as you possibly can to separate yourself, like go in your room as much as you can, put headphones on, do things like that so that you can start really living in your mind with as least disruptions as possible. And you need to be affirming that everybody focus on self concept. Everyone loves me. You know, I'm treated with respect and kindness and compassion. I'm all my relationships become more and more harmonious every day. There's peace in my house. I love all the peace surrounded by me. And then if you want to affirm for them to see them different, like, you know, my family and I get along better and better every day. Everybody's like calming down, showing more love and appreciation with each other, things like that. That's what I would do. And you're just going to have to persist until it hardens into fact, babe. And when you're in it every day, believe me, I know, because I was next door to my SP for a fucking year and saw a lot of shit. You're going to be triggered, but this is such an opportunity to work through those triggers and start reprogramming your mind. But it's going to be a little bit tougher than somebody who's not stuck underneath the same roof, but separate yourself as much as you possibly can and live in your mind. Hi, everyone. Oh my goodness, Tanzania, wow, Wales, Kansas, New York, Holland, Louisville, Bangladesh. Oh, I love it. California, Chicago, Washington, London. Look at everybody. I love it. Scotland, so cool. Canada, Germany. Jesus, we all over today. I love it. Sounds like my ancestors. My ancestors were all over the world, having sex all over all the different continents. All right, let's see. What is going on? How to entertain, Amy Faye says, how to entertain SP with peace and positivity and affirmations, yet not becoming a doormat. Well, you should never do anything that doesn't feel good in the moment about yourself. But when you really focus on your self concept, you will feel better. Hi, Elizabeth. You will feel better about yourself. And so you will manifest your person to show up different for you. You won't be treated like a doormat if you understand I am loved, wanted, and respected, and valued and cherished. The old versions that I experienced sometimes in my life, I was disrespected and said some nasty things. But I mean, I did it first. You know, I was disrespectful first and I got it right back. But now this version, because I changed who I was as well as my story of the person, very respectful. I'm very respectful to him. I will never disrespect him again because I changed my self concept. There's no need for me to be disrespectful. So you're going to have to decide what feels good for you or not. But most of the time, people feel like a doormat because they manifested in a shitty version that's treating them as such. So change the story. My person loves me, respects me, and values me. If you don't want to do something, say no. And trust and know the more you persist in your new story and the story of them, that at some point they'll shift, you know? Oh, thank you, Sky D. That's so sweet, babe. Did you have a question? I don't know. I don't see one. Oh, from France. I love it. Australia, Midland, Texas. All right, let's see. Let's see. When manifesting SP, I find myself questioning if he's even right for me. How I know that's the old limiting belief, but how can I get through this? So, why is it a limiting belief? So a lot of times there's two things that happen. One is when we start affirming a new self concept, we start understanding that we don't need anyone or anything outside of us to make us feel the way that we're now affirming because of who we are being now with this new self concept. So when that happens, we can start to see the SP differently. However, most people will say, I can do better than this SP. And you certainly can, whether you recreate the same one to be different because that shitty version showed up, or that version of that person showed up in your reality based off your story internally about yourself and them. So they can be recreated very easily. Or sometimes you lose interest, because this has happened to me. And I say this all the time, like in the past, I had did so much work on myself and reprogramming with certain areas that when they came back in giving me everything I wanted, I had just lost my emotional, like I just lost my interest in them. And it wasn't that I could do better. I mean, we can always do better, but even with them, but it was more about I just decided that I did not feel the same way for them. And I didn't want to continue to persist in putting any emotional investment in this person anymore because I lost my feelings. So sometimes you can outgrow people, everybody's different, but I think a lot of times it also might be you're just looking at him still as the old story, which tends to happen a lot. They're still not changing. You're going to remember all the shitty things they probably did to you that you manifested. If that's what you're doing, then you really need to see them differently, because they will show up differently. But again, it really is a personal preference. You do not have to manifest your SP. If you guys don't fucking want them, you don't want them. You just need to make sure you understand that even with somebody new, they're still going to reflect to you your limiting beliefs. So you're going to have to do this work on yourself, no matter who you pick. But you have the right to not want to be with that SP anymore. It's certainly your prerogative. Oh, thank you, unknown. Thank you for the super chat. Okay, what do you think about time? I'm not triggered about anything in got movement, but what do you think how long it takes to conform 100%? I mean, everybody's different, babe. Like the thing is this is it takes as long as it takes, meaning it takes as long as you get your shit dominantly in the version of you internally that is living the life of your dreams. So there isn't a benchmark. Nobody can sit here and measure and say we can't count how many negative thoughts we have or old story thoughts we still have in our mind. We don't know what the percentage of in our in our subconscious mind is still not favorable. That's still going to manifest something we don't want in our love life. So there is no way to tell that. All you can do is keep persisting and focusing, and you'll know two ways. You'll know internally how you keep shifting, and you'll know who you're being dominantly. Are you thinking dominantly from the version of you that is loved, wanted, and chosen, or whatever it is you're trying to become self-concept wise? Are you feeling your state change? Because the more you focus on a new story mentally, your emotions have to follow, because your thoughts create your emotions. So if your emotional pattern is shifting and you're feeling more relieved and you're feeling more at peace and you're feeling more content, or something different than the old version that felt rejected, not loved, anxious, powerless, the yucky shit, right? Then you'll know I'm dominantly becoming this new version. It's really what's going on in here. Then you're also going to know by what's being reflected on the outside. So, my thing is this: I don't worry about how long something takes. I say this since day one. I've been like this with manifesting even before I knew law of assumption, because I do believe I will always get what I want. When I learned law of assumption and understood that I could actually create a new version of people, that was a game changer for me. So now that I know that, and I've been known that, and I've been practicing it myself, I don't fucking care how long it's going to take me to get 100% conformed. And honestly, nobody is ever going to be 100% conformed. Think about it. You want the version that is dominantly favorable, that dominantly loves you, respects you, values you, and fulfills you in the relationship the same way you will do for them. So nobody's perfect, including yourself. So you can't micromanage 70,000 thoughts a day. And when we're involved with people and moving through our life, we have new experiences that can trigger new beliefs that we weren't even aware of. Or you're not even going to know you had this belief until it manifests in your 3D. So nobody's ever going to be conformed 100%. There still will be issues that you may want to tweak about your person. there may be a period in your life, like let's say you're really stressed the fuck out and you stop focusing on mental diet. And then all of a sudden you start manifesting some bullshit from your specific person. Well, you'd be like, oh my gosh, I created this. Now I got to refocus and get something different. So it's not about them conforming 100%. It's about you reprogramming your mind to move from an unfavorable natural assumption that says, I don't win in love. I can't get what I want. People do this to me. I'm this and that in love, a shitty story that is already your assumption. And you're reprogramming it with a new favorable assumption so that one day it'll be impressed in your subconscious. It will be a dominant rooted belief and you will manifest it on autopilot dominantly. And it will never be perfect. Though you cannot micromanage 70,000 thoughts. Hi, Mariella. Thank you, babe, for the super chat. Hi, Kim. How do I act around SP when an undesirable circumstance shows up? We live together, and when he triggers me, I find it's so hard not getting upset. Okay, so we're getting upset when we're triggered. Why? Because our old programming is being activated. Your old story of this person's still being an asshole, or I'm still not good enough for getting what I want, or somehow, some way. It's a shitty, shitty story. That is why you have the emotional reaction. So what I personally do is when I get triggered with my SP, I don't confront him anymore. I go, well, let me not lie. I actually have confronted him, but very, very calm. And then I caught myself because in my brain, I didn't tell him this, but in my brain, I'm like, there's no point in me having this conversation with him because I fucking manifested it. So if I want it different, I just go within my mind and I change it. So what I did was I go within. I just don't pay attention to the version that just showed up that said something or did something that triggered me because I understand that if I'm being triggered, it still means it's within my awareness, which is why I manifested it. So I go within and I focus on what I want instead, and I trust and know that he will conform to it. And now where I'm at with my person and my own journey, what typically happens is the conforming, I get the opposite. Like if he said something that wasn't favorable, literally like a day or two, it really happens fast. He literally changes and it's like Twilight Zone. He literally says the favorable circumstance that I want. And it happens really fast. So you got to remember what the game is. The game is he's just a mirror reflecting you. So if you don't like the reflection, you have to change you and understand that at some point your reflection will change as well. It's not about, you can confront him, but that's not where your power is. And all you're doing is putting more awareness and attention and focus on a circumstance you don't want. And by the way, that version that showed up right now doing that was manifested with your old thinking. So, I can look and see some shit with my SP, things that he says verbatim of thoughts that I had like 2 weeks ago or 3 months ago. And I'm like, oh my God, this is delayed. It's always delayed. So you just really have to reinforce your self-concept. You have to remind yourself you're the opera in power. You need to remember what this game is. This game is you getting out of your own way, that the more every time you're triggered, you go within and you change your focus through your self-concept, through your story of them, it will shift. And at some point, you're going to be less and less triggered. And at some point, you're going to be barely triggered. Like the triggers will just be less and they will be less intense. And you'll have little hiccups in your reality rather than big fucking bumps. I mean, that's it, babe. It's going within and utilizing your power. You have to remember you're the opera in power. He has no free will in your reality. Thank you, TLC. I appreciate that super chat. Okay, I most definitely manifested obsession for my long distance SP, but now that's all he's coming in as, sexual. Need to create new self-concept affirmations. So I would be affirming that he is so emotionally attached to you. He's madly in love with you. He loves you. He's turned on by you sexually and emotionally. He's mostly attracted to you emotionally as well as sexually, or something like that, right? And then yes, self-concept, you can definitely say that, I am commitment material. I'm the one he sees his future with. He's so turned on by me, but he loves me deeply. And with me, he has the whole package and I fulfill him on any and all levels. And this is why, he continues to emotionally invest in me, because I am worthy and deserving of whatever you want to say, being loved, chosen, committed to. I'm the one that always is, he sees me as his girlfriend because he's in love with me. That's all. Just tweak it. You just got to tweak it a little bit. If you can manifest him wanting you sexually, girl, you can manifest him wanting you emotionally as well. Remember, this is just changing. It really isn't hard when you really understand what you're doing, right? Golden affirmations. Thank you. You're so wonderful. Oh, thank you, love. Thank you for that super chat. That's so sweet. You guys, it's really, one, persistence is huge. Most people give up before they get what they want. Secondly, it's living in the end. But thirdly, it's also, you have to remember you're the operant power. We doubt ourselves so much. And when we don't see the 3D moving as fast as we want, or we don't see the 3D, definitely showing us what it is that we've been affirming and focusing on, we start doubting more. And you have to change that. You have to stop doubting or doubt less and move yourself more into trusting, fuck, my mind is creating all of this. So if I don't like it, I just got to persist, knowing at some point, all of it's going to come into play. Sasha, thank you, love, for the super chat. Hi, can you go through a typical day and how you manifest throughout the day to get your SP? Thanks. Okay, I am very into this. So this might be a little too much for some of you, but you tweak it to fit your own schedule. So remember, I don't have little kids, so I have more free time than maybe some do, but I wake up, as soon as I open my eyes, I am already affirming my story. I am already speaking it out loud, or I am thinking it. Or, like I said on the last live, I have affirmations that I loop on the Parrot app. It's free. And you speak your own affirmations and you can loop them up to 60 minutes. So I might just lay in bed and play that for like 5-10 minutes. But boom, as soon as I open my eyes, I am focusing on my reality all day long. I'm literally all day long while I'm in the shower, brushing my teeth, making coffee, doing my hair, doing my makeup. Whenever I am not focused on dealing with another human being in my face, or focused on a task that I actually have to pay attention to, I am thinking in my mind my new story. And I like to journal and script. Well, script, I really like that because it helps me focus better. And it's just different than me thinking in my mind. So every morning I script for about anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes. That is my personal preference. You do not have to do that, but I like to do it. It's fun for me. I also, some days I might do it in the middle of the day, or I might do it at night. But the most important thing that I do is I think my fucking thoughts that are favorable for me. I am very aware of my mind. So when I'm in doing my hair and makeup, I'm sitting there looking at myself in the mirror and I'm having conversations to myself. When I'm in my car, I'm having conversations to myself all day long, guys. I'm not kidding you. All day fucking long, I do this, because if not, my brain will go. I don't know where it's going to go, but I'm commanding it. I am in charge and I tell it where to go. And the only way you're going to do that is through constant repetition. So you really have to pay attention and be aware of where your mind is going. Okay, Madeline, thank you, love, for the super chat. Me and SP were no contact for 2 months. Then we were friends with benefits. Then we started going on dates and texting every day. Wait, before I answer this, the other thing I do, I love to visualize too, and I do inner conversation. So I'm also doing that throughout the day. And my visualization is fucking fast. It's like a 10-second thing. I don't got time and patience to sit here and try to create this whole elaborate story. I literally have about 3 or 4 end scenes that always have me with a wedding ring and him as well. And then it's affirming what I want for that my end. And I just go there. And sometimes it depends on my mood at that time. If I'm being triggered or something, I might just jump there and have to do it 6 times in my head to calm me the fuck down, or I might just do it once. So you just got to play with this stuff. But I also have a lot of inner conversations where he's just telling me everything I want to hear. Okay, sorry. All right, Madeline, back to you. So me and SP were in no contact for 2 months. Then we were friends with benefits. Then we started going on dates and texting every day. Now we're back to friends with benefits. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. Well, you're not doing anything wrong. You're just understanding this. There is something going on. There's a story. So I would be affirming 2 things: self-concept. I am chosen, wanted, and loved, and committed to. It's so easy to commit to me. I am girlfriend material. I would be revising. I don't know your history with SPs in the past, but if you need to revise and say, I've always been easily committed to, it's so easy to fall in love with me. Everybody falls in love with me, especially this person. I would be reinforcing that. And then you need to change the story of how they see you. You need to have them in your mind seeing you as, fuck, this is the one. I want to be with her. I'm ready to commit to her. He's now, she or he, whatever your SP is now ready to fully commit to me. And they're asking me and telling me right now today. And you just stick to the fucking script. You just stick to the script. There's something in you subconsciously. That's what I'm saying. Look at your past. If this is your history where you're not getting committed, then you really need to be affirming and double downing. And I'm chosen. It's so easy to commit to me. Everybody falls in love with me and pursues me for a serious commitment. I am always the girl that gets the serious commitment. This person is no different. And boom, boom, boom. And you stick it the fuck out until you get what you want. And we just don't know how long that's going to take. That's why you don't care about the time. All right, Adriana, thank you, love, for the super chat. I literally just woke up to this, LOL, but what do you think about soulmates when it comes to manifesting? I don't know if you talked about this. So listen, I don't know if there's fucking soulmates out there, okay? But this is what I know. What I know is your thoughts create how fucking people show up for you, okay? So I don't really get hung up on this person's I decide, since I'm the operant power of my reality, who the fuck is going to be my soulmate, who I want to be with, and that's it. And then they have no free will. So as long as I stick to my story, at some point I will get what I want. So I don't really get caught up in soulmate shit anymore. I mean, that when I used to be in law of attraction, before I understood that the way people showed up for me was only how I saw myself and my story of them. That changed everything for me, where it made all these little things like null and void, like it doesn't have relevance to me. Are there people that we have different connections with? Yeah. Are there people that we have deeper connections with? Yes. Do we meet people at different times that when we're awakened, like, those of you that are on this journey of law of assumption, there's someone you're with or trying to manifest back that you prefer rather than someone you knew 10 years ago. Why is that? Well, you're a different version you are now than you were 10 years ago. That maybe that's why you're wanting this person. You know what I'm saying? Because now you know the information. You understand why it didn't work because your story said it couldn't work. So I just personally don't give too much into soulmates because I feel like it's giving up your power in the sense of what does that mean for you? I guess it's your assumption. It would be your assumption of what a soulmate is. I don't get hung up on one person being the only one that I can have. Now, I prefer the one person, so that's the one that I will manifest in for my choosing, but if God forbid, if I don't want to say this, but if somebody passed away tomorrow, like, fuck, can't just think, well, that was my soulmate. Now I'm fucked forever. You know what I mean? So I just don't give myself personally to things like that outside of me, because that's just us giving up our power. All right, Mariella, thank you so much, my love, for the super chat. She says, I came to your channel to re-listen to you answering my last super chat, and you were saying Mariella babe for another Mariella. So I can't help but notice the little fun manifestations. Oh, that is funny. That is cute. Manifesting Goddess, thank you, babe, for the super chat. My SP called me and told me he's talking to some girl, but he was telling me he loves me and sent me our pictures together saying he always looks at them. Okay, what's the question, love? You guys, you got to write me a question. So I'm just going to tell you, just persist. He's conforming. Remember, sometimes they don't come in, most of the time actually don't come in fully conformed. That's okay. Keep focusing on your self-concept and the story you want and persist, and you'll keep getting movement. It'll happen. Karen Delaire, thank you, babe. I appreciate that super chat. My SP moved out of state. She told me she doesn't know what the future holds for us. What can I do? Work on my self-concept every day. I'm so lost. Yes. So she's only reflecting you. So there was some insecurity or something inside of you that felt not good enough or had some fear or worry that she was going to leave you, not choose you, some bullshit story, right? So yes, self-concept needs to be reinforced. I'm loved, wanted, and chosen. I'm worthy and deserving of being in a beautiful, loving, committed relationship. Who's the version of you that isn't chasing love? Who's the version of you that feels loved and secure and is actually receiving what she wants? Then you need to be reinforcing that this person didn't mean that. They are actually head over heels in love with me and they're pursuing me constantly because I'm so amazing. And then boom, go back in your self-concept. So you just have to persist in it. You'll see reflections of her mirroring back to you, your new story. But this is the trap that people fall into, is when they start seeing that, but they're not getting it consistently, or they get it and then the next day it's like the opposite. They start getting triggered and then they start thinking this isn't working. And it's like, if you're real with you and understand, I just started focusing on a new self concept. So I'm so powerful that my thoughts are already being reflected back to me, but it doesn't mean that I actually believe this shit about myself yet. Because remember, we manifest what we think and what we believe. So we're changing your story of who Karen was in relation to this woman, and you're persisting until you convince yourself that you are now chosen, wanted, and committed to. You are her girlfriend. So you're not, until you make that a belief in you, that you know. That's how you get to the knowing. I know this is done. I know this is who I am. That's when it starts coming in regularly, because now it's an assumption. So it won't be coming in slivers. It won't be coming in little bit of reflection. So remember, there's no one to change but self. And you're so powerful. The minute you start focusing a new story, your reality will start to mirror it back to you. But you fucking keep going until it's showing up regularly every day in your reality. And you just know this is who you are. Lachey, I hope I'm saying your name right, love. Thank you for the super chat. SP doesn't want a relationship, but I'm not comfortable continuing sexually without being exclusive. But I don't know how to just be friends until he conforms, working on self-concept. Is it okay to not be in contact with him? Yes. I mean, listen, you guys, you're the operant power. So you decide the rules for you. My thing is this: whether you're in contact with them or you're not, you have to be reinforcing self-concept, and you have to be reinforcing the story that they love you, they want you, they're choosing you. You have to be affirming and understanding what is the position you want to be. What is the end game for you? Is it love, exclusivity, relationship, committed, whatever? And you need to start affirming, this is who I am. I am exclusive. We are exclusive. It feels so good. Now, most times people won't sleep with, and I know because I did this too, and you got to do what feels best for you, definitely. Most times in that kind of situation, somebody will stop sleeping with them because the story you're holding is, I don't want to be used for sex. I deserve more. So you feel badly if you engage in that. But if you understand the game again, that I'm going to create what I want, and if I'm enjoying my time with them, then I know I'm going to get more because my story says so, then you'll understand that if you change the story, you won't feel negative. But I don't want you to do anything that doesn't feel good for you, because at the end of the day, your beliefs and assumptions about how you're conducting yourself is what is most important. So do not sleep with him if it is going to make you feel poorly about yourself, okay? But change the story. He will come the fuck back, giving you what you want. You don't have to end contact with him. You could just say, listen, I really would desire more. Your power's not in telling him, but you could say it to him if you wanted to. Let's just be friends. I really like you. We have, we're good together. But I don't want to sleep with somebody that I'm not exclusive with, and I'm just hoping we can remain friends. And then boom, if he contacts you, he contacts you, but stick to your fucking story. Just stick to the story. Our power is always within. You will get everything you want. So, but if you don't want to talk to him, you don't have to. But I always tell people this, because listen, remember, those of you who may not know, I was the girl that I've manifested in a shit ton of SPs multiple times, shitty versions, and then giving me everything that I want. Okay. Many times, about 5 to 6 different men that I actually wanted something real with. I also had many others coming back offering me everything I wanted, but I didn't even have any real interest in them. So I really focus on the ones that I really wanted something with. Okay. And the reality is this: I would cut everybody out with that thinking too, and that's okay. And then I would manifest them back in, and I still would not. You have to work through your triggers. He's going to trigger you. So the answer is not always cutting them out. That's what I used to do, because you're running from you and you're running from the uncomfortability of the shitty story that you're focusing on that's making you not feel good. So then our brain falsely says, let me get rid of this person that's causing me to feel this way. Then we get rid of them and then we feel relief. And then we're like, oh, good, it's done and over with. I got this. But then they're going to come back in and they're still going to mirror back to you your limiting beliefs. You're not going to know what they are dominantly until somebody's showing you and it's being reflected back to you. So the real work is when they're in your life. But you can still work on your self-concept when they're not, and the story of them, and you can get some kind of grounding or some kind of semblance for yourself, but you have to face them. You have to deal with them in your 3D, because they will trigger you, guaranteed. So you make the decision. I can't tell you, right, if you should contact him or not. Do what feels best for you, but girl, work on that story. Work on that story and know what you're up against. Know that when he comes in, he's most likely going to trigger me. And when I'm being triggered, it's just my old programming being activated. And I got to move myself into the new version of me until I reprogram that trigger, because eventually you will not have that same trigger. Xaviera, thank you, love. I am in a business with SP. He is not yet conformed. I have a chance to walk away. May be the soundest business decision, but I get nervous breaking the last contact. We have help. So if you're in fear that if this is the best business decision for me to make is to end the business with him, but the only reason why I'm keeping it is because I'm scared to lose him, then that means you're in a shitty self-concept, and you're in a shitty self-concept not believing you're the operant power. So that is not going to work for you. That's like somebody, kind of what Lachey was saying a little bit, but we'll twist it a little bit more. That's like when people are in a friends with benefit, but they feel so badly and their story's so negative, but they're scared to say no to the person because they're scared, if I say no, I'm going to lose them. So when you're in that version of you, you're in victim. You're not in your power as the God of your reality, of you creating your reality. So I would really look at reinforcing everyone as you pushed out. He's not separate from you. Reminding yourself this man has zero free will in your reality. Reminding yourself that you can manifest whatever it is that you want, and that you are creating these experiences. No one else is. So whether you end this business with him or don't, you can still get what you want no matter what. Then you need to remember, your thoughts create. You have to remind yourself of that. Then you need to really go hardcore with your self-concept, because if your self-concept was on point or dominant enough where you knew how fucking amazing you were, girl, with this man, that you would be like, it doesn't even matter if I end this business or not. Like, this guy cannot get enough of me. He will never leave me. We don't have to be in business together. He's so in love with me. He can't stay away from me, even if he fucking tried. You see what I'm saying? So you got to up the game and up your self-concept, because your self-concept is really poor. If you're scared, you don't believe you're good enough and that you're so amazing that he will see you the same way. So you're kind of hanging on to this thread, which you're not going to manifest what you want that way. So work through your self-concept. You'll know the best decision as you're working on you and building up your self-confidence in regards to him, and reminding yourself how amazing you are. Because when you do it, when you see yourself lovingly, then you are able to see him seeing you lovingly. Get that? That's how you know your self-concept's not on point. You know your self-concept's not on point when your story of them is they don't want you, or you're nervous you're going to lose them. You're letting a 3D circumstance and old programming control and dictate who you are and what's happening. And that is that you're giving up your power every second of the day when you do that. And that's what the work is. So reinforce your self-concept, and reinforce your self-concept of being the operant power. And you're actually running the fucking show here, that he can't go anywhere unless you keep affirming and believing that he will. Thank you, love, for the super chat. Oh God, just found how to text here. Some encouragement for during no contact. You're the best. Thank you. Okay. So I actually think no contact's really fucking easy, but, okay. So what I would do is this: reinforce self-concept, and I would be living in the fucking end. I would be in my mind every day, being with this man or your SP, hearing your SP, having conversations with them, telling you. So what I like to do is this: like, whatever my insecurities are or my negative thoughts are, I will hear my SP reiterate to me the opposite. So one of mine is abandonment, right? We all know that I was in foster care. Like, my shit stems from back in the day in childhood. So one of the things that I personally do is, and I really don't have this trigger anymore because I've really worked on myself a lot, but in the past I would really get fearful of little things he would say in a conversation. It would just trigger my old programming and activate it, where I would feel scared that I was gonna, like, he was gonna leave or something, like something so stupid that wouldn't even imply he would. And so what I would do in that moment is I would just hear him in my mind tell me, babe, I am never leaving you. I'm in love with you. You're too important to lose. I can never, ever leave you. And once I did that a couple times, I don't know, like, it just went away, and I don't even worry about that anymore. And now I know I'm too important to lose to him. And I see that reflected to me constantly. So live in the end, focus on your self-concept, reinforce everything. I'm going to repeat myself a lot because literally the solution is the same as you persist in the new story of what it is you want. You have to trust and know that this man is or person, sorry, I'm being gender biased. I don't mean it. Whoever your SP is, that they are constantly thinking about you, wanting to be with you, and are reaching out to you now, and you're always on their mind, and you're so amazing and you're so incredible. Focus on the version of you that's in the relationship with this person. Visualize, script, or just affirm, think from that end constantly, because that will move you into the reality. And then your 3D has no choice. This person's going to pick up on your thought transmissions. And the more you do it, at some point, they're going to have to take action. You're either going to bump into them randomly, because that's how the shit works, or they're going to contact you. So just persist. Just because they're not in contact with you doesn't mean this shit doesn't work. It always works. I have been with this SP, I've known him on and off for 3 years, right? We've dated on and off for 3 years. Like there was 6 months we didn't talk one time. Another time was like 6 weeks. Another time I think was 3 months. Other SPs I had, I remember one 9 months I didn't even hear. And he came back and professing his fucking love and told me I was the one. And he went to therapy and fixed himself. Like, so you just, being in no contact means nothing. They're still getting your thoughts. Think of all the people you thought about in your past, or you had a random thought about somebody that you're not speaking to every single day. And then boom, they picked up and you thought of them, and then they contacted you somehow, whether social media or they texted you. Like it happens all the fucking time. Cynthia, thank you, love. What am I doing wrong? Guys, stop. You're not doing anything wrong. Stop it. You're just probably focused on old fucking shit. My SP is hot and cold. He says he misses me and wants to be with me. And next day, he just wants us to be friends. This attitude triggers me. We end up arguing. So he's reflecting to you. So I know this is what used to happen to me. So when your self-concept is not dominant in like a favorable version of you, where you know your worth and value, and I really lean on self-concept too of I'm a fucking operant power. Like my thoughts are creating this, so he has no choice. So when you're not confident in those two areas, that 3D is going to fucking rock you dominantly, and you're going to be constantly triggered, and you're going to keep reacting in the 3D. So the hot and cold is what's going on inside of you. So this is where when they're coming in, when we're manifesting them, they're going to show up like the Twilight Zone. Mine shows up still like the Twilight Zone sometimes. It's just not like it's not such a big contrast. But he literally will say the opposite of what I want 1 second, and then fucking 5 minutes later, it's like it was never even said, and then boom, he's conforming. And I just sit there and laugh now because I'm like, oh my God, this is so fun now. It happened so fast, right? How did I get there, babe? Because I used to be like you. I got there through reprogramming my self-concept. I got there from believing and knowing for a fucking year with every trigger that I had that I'm running the fucking show, that I am fucking amazing. I'm the best thing that ever happened to him. And if I actually believe that about myself, then I know he has to see that way too, which makes me feel good. So then I'm able, when he shows up being an asshole or some old story of me that's still lingering, it doesn't overpower me. Even I still get triggered, but it doesn't overpower me where I'm knocked down and I'm reacting and I'm dwelling in feeling rejected or not wanted, and I'm looking at him in an unlovingly way. So Neville was very clear, like, to see them lovingly. So the only way to see your person lovingly, which is they love me, they want me, he really does. He just can't, because your fucking story is in the way of blocking him from allowing himself to show up on point. So to see them lovingly, the only way to hold that story dominantly is if you see yourself as being the person who can receive what you want from them. So you have to change your story. You need to start seeing a different story of him. Yourself is most important, and then him. They will listen, even when your self-concept's on point, I'm gonna tell you right now, guys, because I'm the queen of self-concept, right? Because that was the game changer for me. But what I'm also noticing is you have to maintain both. You have to maintain your self-concept, obviously, first and foremost. But even if you have an amazing self-concept, you can still hold a negative story of your person. You can see them as a player. You can see them as not wanting you. You can see them as whatever old story you had. And if that is dominant, they will still show up that way. So you have to change both. And the way you get to both to be able to hold a favorable story of him long enough dominantly so it pushes the fuck out and you actually start experiencing it more is through your self-concept. You have to reinforce your self-concept. And the more you do that, the more you're able to hold the story of him that he loves you and wants you, even when he's fucking saying the opposite. Listen, this shit is not for the faint-hearted. I'm telling you right now, this is what the work is, because there is no one to change but self. You literally have to get rid of your old programming that's blocking you from receiving what it is that you want. That is what receiving mode is. Let's take the mystery out, all the bullshit vibration shit out there and the bullshit fucking, you got to be in receiving mode. What the fuck is receiving mode? And receiving mode is your dominant thoughts are already the version of you that's having what you want. Now you can receive it because there's no story telling you you can't receive it or that story isn't dominant enough anymore. That's the only reason why we don't get what we want is because we have a fucking story that says we're not getting it. That's it. There is nothing else. So you got to change the story of you in relation to them, and you definitely got to change the story of them. I changed the story of me, and my SP reflects that constantly, but I still had a lingering old story from my 3-year history with him, and that's still playing out. And as soon as I noticed it, I said, okay, I got to affirm this instead. I started really reinforcing this specific thing about him that is a belief and assumption I had that still was playing out. And once I started focusing on it, in less than a week, I already started seeing movement. In 2 weeks, I saw a massive movement of him conforming to that new story now. And that part is still unfolding, but it's already moving fast, because this is what happens when you're grounded in your self-concept. You're able to work through this shit so much faster. So do everything that I'm saying and fucking persist, babe, and you will get it all. All right, make sure I'm not skipping anybody because this chat is moving fast. Okay. Okay. Nane, I hope I said your name right. Thank you, love, for the super chat. I worked on my self-concept. I worked on me. Self-concept is strong. Feel love, wanted, amazing. I know he's totally in love with me. I don't wish to wait. How can I speed up? Well, if you need to speed it up, you're not going to like my answer, but I love you. And I have to tell you the truth. If you need to speed it up, that means you're dominantly still in the reality where you don't have what you want. Because when you live in the end, you feel satiated. When you're creating an internal experience that you're in the relationship of your fucking dreams, you're not missing it. You're living it. It's who you are. You are being that version of you. That's how you speed it the fuck up. Every time you fucking notice, fuck, I want this now, go in the end. Go in your mind, move yourself into the version of you that you are with your person. Committed. You are in the end, whatever that end is for you. This is how you collapse time and space, guys. Remember, whatever you're paying attention to and focusing on in your mind is what keeps manifesting. So every time you have a subtle thought that says, God, when is this going to happen? Well, that's focus and attention to you don't have what you want. I had a fucking year. Well, it wasn't a year of no movement. It was a year of me reprogramming, and I had a version that was not favorable dominantly for a year. And then it flipped overnight, flipped over fucking night. And now the dominant version I have is every day, and it's fucking favorable. That's how you speed it up. You just gotta keep living in the end. TLC, thank you, love. Thank you and happy holidays. By the way, I love your Facebook membership group. It's so helpful. Oh, good. Thank you. That makes me happy. I appreciate that. And happy holidays to you too, sweetie. Okay, Mariah, thank you, my love. Hi, Kim. I've been working on self-concept, and here's my situation. SP lives in another country, and I want to live with him. I have to finish uni, but I want SP. Do I start manifesting him to come to me? I would manifest whatever you want. I mean, if you want him to come to you, then yeah, do that. Like, you can totally manifest that to happen. You can just go to the end too. You guys, remember, you have a choice. You can either manifest in steps, or you can go to the end, or you can mix it up and do both. Like I always say, what is your end goal you want? So for you in this super chat, it says, I want to live with him. So if you don't mind him moving in with, like, coming to your country, then fuck yeah, I would be affirming that. I would be seeing myself already living with him. I would be having conversations in my mind as if we already lived together. I would be focusing in my mind of, oh my God, I love waking up next to him every day. I love how amazing we get along. We're having so fun together. This is the best relationship of my life. I love living with this person. I can't believe that this worked out better than ever. Isn't it amazing that he lives with me now, that we're together now every day? Like whatever that you're thinking and focusing, it needs to be the version of you that is already the living girlfriend with this person, and that you guys are living together. And then the magic will unfold. Remember, the bridge of incidents will happen because you're going to trust in the unseen, and then SP is going to move with you. So fuck yeah. If that's what you want, then make it happen. Can make anything happen. Candy, thank you, my love, for the super chat. SP is involved with a third party. How can I be the only one? Start fucking claiming that shit. You got to build up your self-concept. I am chosen. I am one. No one else compares to me. You got to also, this is what really helped me too. That was really reinforcing my self-concept, because I say this, everybody asks me about third parties all the time. I manifested a shit ton of them in, and I manifested a shit ton of them out. And the one thing I noticed, the thing that I do, I hit it at all angles, because that's just the kind of girl I am. I'm like, let me tackle it here, there, everywhere. I'm covered on all fucking bases, so I get everybody out. What I noticed through these processes is this: the most important thing is self-concept. Is you really have to reinforce and build yourself up that I am good enough where there is no better option for this fucking person. Okay. SP knows I'm the fucking best, and that's it. And you really got to claim that, and you got to really affirm that you are the fucking only one, that you are top of the line, top fucking notch. Everybody else is bottom tier. Like nobody, this person is just on a whole nother level with you and can't get that from anyone else. Okay. You really need to reinforce that. The second thing is this: I never, ever, ever, ever was one of those people that could ignore the third party. That's not how my brain works. So I don't believe that shit. I think most of those people probably maybe haven't manifested a third party or manifested their SP. I don't know, whatever. You don't have to ignore it. If you can, great. Whatever you don't pay attention to, if you reaffirm a favorable story about you, you'll manifest. But I could not fucking ignore it. That shit would pop in my head. So I went hardcore with my self-concept with what I just said. And then I also would create a story that my SP lost interest in this person. This person my SP does not want this person. My SP is over that person. My SP knows there's nobody better than me. Like I would create a story that made sense of circumstances that would move that person out. And I would say things like he lost interest in them really fast. They did something or said something that just turned them completely off. And it always fucking manifested. But to keep the fucking third parties out, because you can manifest one out and another one come right the fuck back in, because that's what I would do, is you really have to nail down your self-concept of no one else compares to you. You're the fucking best. And then you need to be affirming that he knows this. Your SP knows this. They know this. This is how they see you. You got to do both. It's really easy. Remember, a third party is only a circumstance. A circumstance is only a circumstance we manifested in that is blocking us from getting what we want. It can show up as living in another country. It can show up as, I don't want a relationship. It can show up as, I'm healing still from dealing with an ex, right? It can show up as I'm in love with someone else. It can show up with I'm dating someone else. It can show up with I just don't fucking want you. It doesn't matter. It's all bullshit. All it is just some stupid circumstance we manifested in because our shitty fucking self-concept. So you manifested these fucking people in, you can manifest them. Look, lashes on my face. You can manifest them right the fuck back out. It's not hard, babe, I promise. Okay, Sky D. Hi, Kim. Things were going well with my SP, but in this case, she got triggered. I didn't react, but I had a hard time figuring out if I created that. Well, you create everything in the sense of the experience you're having. So if you're manifesting in an experience with your SP that's not moving you closer and is moving you more separate and not what you want, then you don't have to figure out why. I'm sorry, I'm stuttering today. I've not had enough coffee or something. I'm like, fuck, my brain is slow today. This is what I would do. Sometimes we don't need to figure out why. You're going to rack your brain and you might not be able to pinpoint it. It really doesn't matter. You honestly don't need to. Just keep focusing on you, of everything I've been saying, your self-concept, and start saying a different story about her. Okay? Start saying that she's so in love with you. She's healed. She's over any insecurities. We're so good together. Our communication's getting better and better every day. And just fucking persist in these stories until it shifts and changes and you're actually getting what you want. a lot of times if we're seeing them, so one of my old stories was about my SP settling in relationships and not feeling secure enough. And that is what continued to manifest. And then it was showing up as a block where, he was saying to me, like, you're the one that I want, but I'm going to ruin us. Like, literally, this is what he was saying to me. He was like, I don't want anybody else, but I'm going to ruin you and me together because I'm fucked up. So in my brain, I was like, oh, hell no, I got to change that story. And I changed that story, and he's conforming and he changed his ways and doesn't see himself. And so if you're having somebody come in your reality where they're saying, I'm being triggered, I can't handle this, or they're showing some kind of insecurity or something, then you need to see them different. You created a story that this is who they are or something. That's why it's manifesting. So you affirm they're mature, they're over any past insecurities, they're healed from any past pain and wounds or whatever. And, they're have self-love and self-respect. They feel confident, secure enough, and worthy enough to be in the loving, committed relationship that we provide with each other. Whatever it is, just change the fucking story. Oh, Lachey, thank you, babe. She says, thank you. So helpful. I do have the used for sex belief. I know we've all been there because it means that I'm not good enough to get what I want. And so it manifests that way because I can tell in your YouTube picture, you're very beautiful, but like, it doesn't even matter about looks, right? It's if we know I walk in a room, I can turn heads, I can pull anybody I want, everybody's going to want to fuck me, right? A lot of people have that belief and that's what they manifest. And then they don't feel worthy and good enough to get something more, to get the actual commitment, right? So yeah, just keep seeing yourself and affirming that you're committed to, you're chosen for serious commitment, your wifey, girlfriend, whatever it is you want, and just persist in that and have him in your mind. He sees you the same way, and all of that will shift. You're welcome. Corntendo, thank you so much for the super chat. Hey, Kim, I love learning languages, but the normal procedure takes too long and is frustrating. Can I just skip it and manifest full mastery overnight? You can do anything you fucking want. I would start affirming that. It's crazy to me how fast I learned this language. I love that I'm able to speak this language. I can't even believe that literally I woke up today and I fucking can speak this shit fluently. Every day, my mind is thinking and speaking in this, whatever fucking language it is. Like, there's people that actually can do that. What about those people, like, think of it like this. Remember, anything we want has already existed in the world. So you're not creating something that's never been thought of or someone has experienced. Think about that. So when you are thinking of mastering a language, I always think of, look at the people that have done things that we don't hear as common, like the people that I told you my brain's slow today. I'm sorry. I just lost the fucking train of thought. The piano. Like, people that can hear a fucking song and then play it on the piano, like, that blows my mind. Like, they literally can hear something for 15 seconds and then play it on the fucking piano. I'm like, that is amazing to me. So you can do the same thing. You can hear something and your brain understands it and know it as mastered. Seriously. So just claim and affirm this is who you are. I am, speaking at an expert level. I can conversationally speak. I mean, maybe you want more than conversationally speaking this language, but just do it. And listen, don't get fucking mad if tomorrow you wake up and you don't fucking know this shit full blown. Again, this is what people tend to do is they say, I want this fast, or I want it this way by this time frame. And just because it didn't happen, they're like, fuck it, it doesn't work. But what if it takes you a month rather than a day? I'm just saying. I mean, for you to learn a fucking language in a month that you could speak fluently and understand fluently, like, is pretty fucking amazing. So again, you got to look at, what is the end goal that I want? I want to learn this language. I know you want to learn it as fast as possible. It is a possibility that you could master it overnight, but I also would not give up on, even if I don't master it overnight, I still am going to master it fast as fuck because it's what you want. That's what I'm saying. Even with the SPs, guys, it's the same shit. It's like, or money. It's like, we want what the fuck we want now, obviously. But if you understand what you're doing and you're going to manifest you to have what it is that you want, you don't fucking give up on it just because it didn't happen in the first preferred time frame that you wanted, because you're still going to get it. Would you rather never have it, or would you rather get it whether it takes a little bit longer than not? And I'm just saying that because if you don't wake up tomorrow and it's your full mastery, do not fucking give up. Because what if it takes you a week? What if it takes you a month? That's still fucking ahead of the game. Still ahead of the game than not having mastered it, right? So that's how I want you guys to start training your mind to think so you don't fucking give up on yourself. All right, don't do any more super chats because I'm going to answer all the rest and then I got to go. Magic Oracle, thank you. I just met the man of my dreams and he's married to another guy. He said if he was single, he would give it a go. What to do? Mostly self-concept or focus on him? Well, always you, babe. Always self-concept needs to be the most important because you want to understand that you're chosen, you're wanted, you're the one that's pursued for the commitment. No one else compares to you. And when you do that and then you think of him, you reinforce that he's choosing you and wanting you and prioritizes you and is committing to you. And then that third party will evaporate somehow, some way, and then you will have full access to your person. It's because listen, it's the same thing when you manifest someone in that's already involved with someone versus manifesting someone in who wasn't, but then you manifested in a third party later in the game. It's the same fucking thing. There is a story about you that says, I'm not going to be able to get the full commitment. I'm not going to be able to get the whole package. So you got to change it no matter what, and the third parties will all dissipate. So do everything I said if you didn't hear it, go back and rewatch this live when I was talking about manifesting out a third party. It's the same fucking thing. I'm going back. Sorry, I'm scrolling to make sure I get all these super chats. Okay, hi Bree. Thank you, love, for the super chat. Okay, Kim, love your book. Thank you. Can you go into further details as to why circumstances don't matter with SP and get consistent hot behavior? Thank you. Yes. So, well, there's a bunch of reasons why circumstances don't matter. One is the reality that we live in, it seems permanent and fixed, but it's not. And what you're doing is there's a bunch of things we're doing. You're unlearning programming and conditioning that we've been taught since birth, basically, about how people are in our lives, that we don't have control over other people, but we really do. So we've been sold through religion, and I'm not knocking religion, so please no one get offended, but there's been a lot of teachings in society, psychological stuff. And listen, I'm a fucking therapist, so I was trained in the psychological part of things. And when that I know law of assumption for the last several years, I see the fucking difference. And I'm like, God, we give up our power still psychologically as well. But all these different ways we have been coached and brainwashed and taught that there's limits to what we can do, especially with people. And it's not true. So no person is ever fixed as who they are when you manifested them in. And we've proven that. We've proven that in the unfortunate way of manifesting unfavorable circumstances with people, where those of us that had really high self-concept, when someone came in and they were on point for a long time until we got insecure and they triggered us, and then that became dominant, we saw them go from one really amazing version to a real shitty version, right? So we've already seen that on that end. So nothing's ever permanent because everything in your 3D reality is just a reflection to what is going on in you, in your mind. So that is one reason why circumstances don't matter, is because people will change in your reality the minute you change your story of how people see you and how you see people. So then you persist until it hardens into fact. So what does that mean? That means until you believe this new story, because once you believe it, it is now an assumption and a belief, which is on autopilot, and you will consistently, regularly manifest for yourself. Another reason why circumstances don't matter is because you are the operant power of your reality. So you create all circumstances. Even if we're not specific with a circumstance, we still created the experience to manifest as such based off our thinking. So if you don't like something in your life, this is how powerful you are. You focus on a new story of that, and then at some point that has to be reflected back to you. So it is never, ever permanent. The other reason why circumstances don't matter is because you manifested it with old thinking and old beliefs. So this is why people get frustrated, because when we're so powerful, when we change the mental diet and we start thinking a new thought, it is not a new belief yet. And it doesn't have to be a belief to manifest, but for it to stick every day, for you to be dominantly the version of you that believes this new fucking story, especially with an SP and your self-concept in relation to the SP, you have to reprogram your mind. And that takes time. Now, everybody's different. It could take several weeks, several months, couple months to a year or so. Everybody's fucking different with that. So the way circumstances don't matter, because whatever that thought was 2 weeks ago, a month ago, it's just lag time in the 3D. Uh, Thought transmission moves slower, expressing itself sometimes in our physical realm in the 3D reality than it does here, because manifestation is instant, meaning I think it's already a possibility. I just focused on it. It's already done. But it doesn't mean we're going to instantly experience it in the 3D. A lot of things we can, it can show up in seconds, it can show up in hours, it can show up in days. The reason why with SPs, most of the time it doesn't, and we get more cold rather than hot, is because your fucking story is still so dominant. I mean, think of a belief system produces all your thoughts. So if your belief when you're dealing with an SP, if your self-concept is I'm not loved, I'm not wanted, I'm not chosen, and that has been your belief for your entire adult life, and all of a sudden you learn law of assumption, you're like, oh my God, my thoughts create, I can change this, which we're like, woohoo, you start focusing on a new story. That is not your new belief yet. You have not reprogrammed your mind yet. There are tens of thousands of thoughts that is still in your subconscious mind that you're reprogramming. And when you're consciously choosing a new story by thinking and affirming every day, you're lucky if you're focusing on a couple hundred thoughts a day. So your circumstances will shift more and more as you keep reprogramming your mind more and more and more. And your focus is moving away from the old story to the new story, the old self concept to the new self concept. And until the new self concept is dominant over the old one, that is when you get the consistent hot. It still won't be perfect, because there still will be, for those of you that have a history with an SP, there's still, like I'm going through, there's still little tiny little things, nothing major, little things that will show you, oh, I still have this story of him I didn't realize, and then you focus on it, and then that changes, and then there may be something else. It just depends on everybody's own stories that they have going on in their mind. So circumstances are never permanent, because they were created simply by your thoughts and your dominant beliefs. So when you change your thinking, your 3D is already fucking conforming, and you're already going to pick up fast reflections of your new thoughts. You just got to stick it the fuck out until it becomes a dominant version of you. And you know if it is or isn't, because if you really are checking within yourself, then you know, oh, I'm still feeling insecure, not wanted, not chosen dominantly. Well, then that means your dominant story is still that. So that is what will dominantly manifest. So you will have more of that in your reality rather than more of the hot, right? That's where you get more cold. So the more you keep shifting and the more internally you start to stabilize your story, and you're leaning more and more towards dominantly being the new self-concept and the new version of the SP in your mind, you will see that move from cold to more hot and hot and hot. That's why you persist until it hardens into fact. The story with Neville. Neville didn't talk. He did talk not substantially enough about how to overcome limiting beliefs, but he did talk about what to do when you don't believe it's true. And he gave many examples. And the two that stick out for me right now are when he talked about wanting to go to Barbados, and every day he did not get the information in his 3D confirming he was getting the ticket to go to Barbados, and he doubted it, and he kept going to Abdullah saying, what the fuck, homie, it's not showing up. And what did Abdullah do? He fucking slammed the door in his face and said, go to Barbados. Like, don't talk to me. Like, that was Neville's version of saying, I kept doubting, I wasn't trusting, I wasn't believing. And he kept checking his fucking 3D. And then he kept going to his mentor saying, hey, Abdullah, this isn't working. And Abdullah was like, fuck you, it is. But in Abdullah's way, where he slammed the door. He didn't want to hear it. He didn't want to hear him bitching about the circumstances. So that is one way, right? You go to the end, go to the end, go to the end, no matter what the 3D is showing you. And then boom, he manifested the ticket to go to Barbados. The second thing that stands out to me is when he manifested himself out of the fucking, I think it was the Army. I can't remember what branch. I think it was the Army. He did not want to fucking be in service. And he went to his commanding officer and said, yo, get me out of here. This is not for me. And they looked at him and laughed, because you don't just say, I'm quitting. That's not how the military works in the US, right? So he visualized himself and persisted in living in the end of waking up in his apartment in New York City. And he kept doing that despite what the 3D was showing him. And he went and I think he asked maybe 2 times or 3 times, and the answer was still no. And then I think he finally stopped asking because he was checking, that was him checking the 3D. That was him not believing. And he just kept living in the end. And then the guy came to him and said, listen, you still want out of this shit? And he said, yes. And they discharged him, which is fucking unheard of. It's a fucking, I was married to a Marine for 8 years. That's not how shit works. You know what I mean? So this is what I'm trying to say, is that circumstances don't matter because you created it with your thinking. So the minute you change your thoughts, the circumstances are already moving in the new thought direction. Your job is just to stick out the new thought direction until you get what you want. And at some point, it'll be so consistent when it's consistent in you. April Christine, thank you, love, for the super chat. Okay, I wanted to ask your thoughts on this. My man and I are on TikTok and wanted to see about doing duets with him. I know he loves me and is my boyfriend. I just know about not taking action in 3D. So I would visualize and affirm and think from the end of you and him doing duets. I would see it in my mind. I would have conversations with him in my mind where he's like, oh my God, I love this duet that we did. It was so much fun. Let's do this again, right? Or you can see him, you can affirm, script, or just think. Literally, you don't have to do any of these techniques. You can literally just think the thoughts in your mind. Oh my God, I love the duets that we do. He's so fun. I love that he's always reaching out to me, and our duets they go fucking viral, and he just loves this, and we just have so much fun. So you're not going to have to fucking lift a fucking finger. He's going to come into you. He's going to send you a duet to do. He's going to make it, and then he's going to send it to you, and you're going to duet it, and that's it. Just see yourself as already being that version of you, that this is already normal for you guys. It's so normal that me and my SP are always doing duets together. Like, we love doing duets together. He can't stop doing duets with me. He's always sending them to me, and that's it. So you'll take action in the sense of it'll come to you and then you'll respond to it, but you don't go and chase it and bring it to you. It comes to you always. A Sinner's Secret. Thank you, love. Everything was so good, and then she blocked me out of nowhere, and I'm trying to stay in the end, but this is insane. Like, she was coming home. How do I stop my anxiety and stay in the end? Okay. So sometimes when they come in and everything's going well, 2 things are happening. Either there's still something in you that was lingering that you weren't aware of, and it's just simply being reflected to you, or it's still just some old 3D bullshit lag time. Either way, the answer is the same. You have to take deep breaths. You have to remind yourself, I am the fucking opera in power. I'm running the show. You need to remind yourself, everyone is you pushed out. She is not separate from you, and she has no free will in your reality. And then you need to remind yourself that the answer and the solution is always to live in the end, or affirm from the version of you that is living this life, that has what you want. And trust, you have to persist. This is the thing. You guys, you have faith. Those of you that have faith only when it shows you what you want, that means you don't have faith. Because the faith is trusting in the unseen. We have faith in what we can't fucking see. So you either have faith that you are the opera in power and you're running this fucking show. So when shit like this happens, even if you get triggered, you still understand. How do you think I worked through all this shit every time I was fucking triggered? It was not fucking easy for me. But do you know what I really believe in? I'm running this fucking show. So for me, it was, okay, whatever the fuck is showing up is just my bullshit, even if it fucking hurts like a motherfucker. But I know the solution is I am the operant power of my reality. And the only way I'm going to get what I want is to keep focusing on what the fuck I want. I don't give a fuck what he just said, what he just did, what just happened. None of it means a fucking thing, because I am running the show, and this is either old or it's still showing me what is being, dominantly in my mind. So do I want more of this, or do I want to get what the fuck I want? And then I move my mind to think it. I did not give up my faith that I'm the fucking opera in power, even the days that I had doubts. I still fucking reaffirm, because I fucking I know this for fact. I am the fucking opera in power. You are the opera in power of your reality. So it doesn't matter if she fucking blocked you. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. Triggers suck, because triggers reactivate in us the story that we're not good enough, we're being rejected. None of that shit ever feels good. But your job is to jump back on the fucking horse and remind yourself, cry, get out your feelings, do whatever you need to do, punch a fucking pillow. But then you fucking get back on the horse and you remind yourself, I got this in the bag. She ain't going no motherfucking where. She's in love with me because I'm fucking amazing. And she don't even, listen, my SP has done some stupid shit too since, I've manifested this whole complete turnaround version. And I'm just like, oh my God, he doesn't even know why he did that. He didn't even fucking mean it. And he's going to fix it like tomorrow. And then I swear to God, if it's not fixed that same fucking day, it literally happens in a day or two. And then he comes back to me and he's like, I don't even know why I did that. And then it's resolved. And I don't have to do a fucking thing. I don't say shit to him anymore. I just go in my brain constantly. Go in your brain. That is where your power is. You need to start affirming, like, she doesn't even know why she blocked me. She's so in love with me. She can't stay away from me because I'm amazing. Your self-concept, there's something going on with your self-concept if this is still floating in. Okay. So start getting back on the horse of how amazing you are, that you're chosen, you're loved, you're wanted, you're pursued, you're desired, you're the best option for her. She knows this. She can't stop thinking about you. She loves you. She's choosing you. That's why she's contacting you every day. There's no way she would throw up any block or road barrier to the two of you. You guys, you just have to persist. Your faith is not in your circumstances. Your faith is in you as the operant power. And no matter what the fuck you manifested, that fucking sucks. You have to remember, you're going to be doubted. It's okay. You're going to have emotions. It's okay. You're fucking human. Feel them, release them, and get the fuck back on the horse. And remember, you're fucking in charge of this show. And you do not let a fucking shitty circumstance control you and decide that you are not powerful, because that is you going in a victim. And that is not the answer of how you're going to get what you want. Thank you, Yakin. I hope I said your name right. Thank you so much. I appreciate that super chat. Okay, 1 year since the breakup and 9 months of no contact, worked on self-concept, and I feel I don't want her desperately anymore. Still, I'd like her to come back. Been affirming for her to heal her shit as well. Say she's already healed. I don't affirm she's healing or she will or it's happening. Say it's already done. Start affirming from the end. I love that we're back together. Oh my God, it's better than ever. We worked out so good. She's so amazing. I love how secure and confident she is now. We're so good together. We both are healed from all our triggers and insecurities, and we are on point, better than ever with each other. She's so into me. It's so obvious. Everyone around her sees it, including myself. She can't help herself. She can't stop thinking about me, touching me, feeling me, loving me, and wanting to be around me 24/7. Create the fucking story you want, babies, if you're already living that way. I would definitely see her as already healed. She's already healed from many insecurities. And now she feels good enough and worthy to be with me, which is why she chose commitment with me. And that's why we're together. Boom, 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 boom. Persist in that until it fucking happens. David, thank you so much. SP respond when I text, otherwise no contact. Circumstances. He prioritized friends, family over me, emotional and available. My parents and friends tell me to move on. How to make him chase me? Should I reach out? No, stop chasing. So to get something different, you got to be something different. So to be something different means I got to think from the version of me, the version of David that is chosen, wanted, and prioritized. So you got to think, you got to change your story of who David is. See, you see yourself as, I'm not prioritized and this person doesn't want me and I always got to initiate contact. That's why you keep manifesting this shit, right? So start with the thoughts of I am wanted, loved, chosen, and prioritized. Then make it specific about your person. My person always prioritizes me and chooses me above anyone and everything. And I don't give a fuck if that person is not, if he's not fucking doing that, right? You persist until it hardens into fact, okay? And you make him chase you by saying, he loves to pursue me. I am the person who's always pursued. I am always, say this. This is a beautiful mantra. Everybody write this shit down, okay? I am loved, wanted, chosen, pursued, prioritized, and always fucking committed to. I am so easy to fall in love with. Everybody falls in love with me, including SP. Say their fucking name. It is the SP. It's so easy for SP to fall in love with me. In fact, that's why SP fell in love with me hard and fast. SP, you have to change your self-concept and see David as a different version of the man who is pursued, wanted, loved, and chosen and fucking prioritized over anyone and everything, because you are important to lose, or too important to lose. You matter tremendously, especially to your SP. And then you need to say and affirm the same thing about your self-concept, but have SP think it from when they think of you, This is what they do to you. He prioritizes me and chooses me over anyone and anything. Why? Because he's fucking in love with me. Why? Because he knows I'm the best thing that ever happened to him. Why? Because I'm too important to lose. Why? Because I fucking matter the most to him, because I'm that fucking amazing. Boom, there's your fucking story. And that's what you stick to until it manifests. That's it. We don't got to make this shit's not hard. We just got to focus on what we want. So don't reach out. And when you feel anxious, because your old way of being is you reach out to get reassurance and to feel like he's still there. Like, I'm still in communication. So you want to break that habit. And the way you break the habit is to change your thinking, but you're still going to feel anxious because you don't dominantly believe this new version of you, right? So when you're doing that, you need to start interrupting your behavioral response when you think the old story of you. You need to journal and script in that moment, so you calm yourself down and you work yourself out of being triggered where you want to reach out to them. You need to fucking jump on the floor, do fucking 500 push-ups. You got to do something to break the habitual behavioral pattern of reaching out and texting. But first, you got to change the story. You got to be aware of what's happening, take a deep breath, change your fucking story, and be the version of David. Nope, I'm loved, wanted, chosen, and pursued, SP, everything I just said. And then you got to go do something to interrupt the behavioral pattern. Listen to a guided meditation that supports. Go listen to my I Am Chosen meditation. Go fucking journal and script so you break your routine and you create a new behavioral response to you that's going to actually manifest and help you get what you want, rather than chasing or jump on the fucking floor. I'm telling you, do jumping jacks, do 100 fucking push-ups, something, because it's going to, as you're thinking these new thoughts and you're doing that, you're going to break the pattern of chasing. You can't, it's not enough, guys. When a lot of people don't understand this when they coach or they teach people, you can't just think a new thought, because until you believe that this is who you are and you've embodied this new version of you, your state is still going to dominantly be the insecure version that's chasing. So you will still continue to chase. So you have to learn how to interrupt. This is what cognitive behavior therapy is, by the way. You have to learn to interrupt not only your thought pattern, but your behavioral pattern by replacing, instead of texting out of fear, go do something else while you're changing your thinking. Okay, Elzara, my SP doesn't want to commit to anyone. I've known him 10 years and been an up and down bad roller coaster. Feel like it's so hard with all this history advice. It's not. He just showed up that way. Whether you manifested in a version of someone that is always, you got to look at self-concept. There's a story of you that I'm not chosen, I'm not good enough. I don't know if that's dominant with men you've dated or if it's just with him, but at the end of the day, for 10 years, if this guy's been saying the same thing, that's your story, love. So change the self-concept. Go back and listen to everything I said. It's the same procedure. I'm loved, wanted, chosen. I'm the one that gets committed to it. He fell in love with me. He only sees a future with me. He has to commit to me. He's wanting to commit to me. I'm so committable. It's so easy to commit to me. You got to really double down and reprogram the story that this is who you are, because he will have to do that. Make it more about you than him. Once you build up your belief that you're good enough and worthy enough and you really are the one that's committed to, you can start revising too. In fact, he's always wanted to commit to me. He's always chosen me. I've always been the one he wanted me to be his girlfriend with. Make it about your self-concept dominantly. And when you start feeling better, it'll be easier for you to affirm for him that he wants the same with you. Remember, if you don't see yourself that way, it's hard to believe that he's going to see you that way, which is why we manifest this kind of bullshit forever. Okay, Becca, thank you, love, for the super chat. I've been dating my SP for a year. He ended things with me yesterday because he said he doesn't have enough feelings for a relationship. What to do? Same thing. Can you reverse engineer and understand your thoughts about yourself and him, which is what manifested this? Write them down and then go over and write the opposite of them. So you probably had a story that he doesn't want me. This is too good to be true. He's pulling away. I don't know, something. You got to look within you, and then you need to change the story. You need to reprogram. I am fucking committed to. I'm the one that, if you want marriage, I'm the one that is marriage material. He loves me. He wants a relationship with me. I'm the only one he wants to be in a relationship with. Why? Because I'm worthy and deserving of being in a relationship. I am so amazing. I'm the best thing that's ever happened to. I'm saying the same shit for over an hour because it's all the same thing. I promise, guys, do everything I said and you will just stick it the fuck out. You got to stick it out. All right. I'm going to answer these last ones and I have to go in like 5 minutes. So Amanda, thank you, my love. My SP moved to another city and I never manifested for him to move. I'm wondering, what does this indicate to you about my self-concept and what can I change within myself to bring him back? So, I mean, I don't know, except that there's a story or something that they're not choosing you. So this person chose another city over you. So it's really the same thing. When you really look down, again, circumstances don't mean shit. If you have a story where your person is choosing something rather than committing to you, then your fucking story is, I am not chosen. I don't matter. I'm not prioritized. I'm not committable. Is that a word? Committable? I'm not the committing type. Okay. So you need to reinforce that. It doesn't matter. This is just the circumstance or excuse that manifested in to say, this is why you're not getting what you want. So again, we can insert third party, we can insert a job, we can insert moving to another city, we can insert religion, we can insert, I mean, my God, we can go down the fucking list of all the reasons and excuses and circumstances of why they won't choose you and commit to you. But the bottom line is, you manifested it because your story says, I'm not chosen. I'm not a priority. I don't matter enough. I'm, not important to them. And they prioritize other things over me. And they just don't want to commit to me because I don't see myself as being the one that can be committed to. Change that story about you and then affirm it the same, that's how they see you, as wanting to commit to you and choosing you. Okay, bespoke invites. Thank you, love. What if you can't stop thinking about the chance of someone being better than you? Then you get, what? Sorry, I heard something at my door. What if you can't stop thinking about the chance of someone being better than you? Then you get scared, you're manifesting them to be a third party and can't stop worrying you're going to create it. You got to reinforce your self-concept. If you're worried that somebody's better than you, that means you're insecure and you're not feeling good enough. So you got to reinforce, I am the fucking best. I am amazing. This is what we do. If we don't feel good enough, then we will see other people, women or men, whatever, we're worried is our competition, we'll see them as competition. And then you're going to manifest it, definitely, but you feel insecure and inadequate and worry that there's going to be someone else better than you because how lousy you feel about yourself. So you have to focus on your self-concept. I am amazing. I am the best. I am beautiful. I am confident. Start looking yourself in the mirror, have a conversation with yourself in the mirror of how incredible you are, list all your amazing qualities. Start reinforcing that you're the best, you're beautiful, there's no one better than you, no one else compares to you. It doesn't matter if somebody's prettier than you because they're not you, you're the whole package. You got this, you got that, you got this, you got that. Really start reinforcing it. You're the fucking catch. You're the one that fucking caught their eye. You're the best thing that ever fucking walked into their life and they fucking know it. But you got to believe that. And the way you believe it is by reprogramming your mind, by saying it over and over and embodying it. And the more you build up your confidence, start saying, I am healed from all my insecurities now and know that I am confident and secure. I love being confident and secure. I know that I'm the best thing to walk the face of the planet. I know that I'm incredible and amazing. And of course, they're going to choose me over anyone and everything. Because if not, you're always going to be insecure. You're not going to manifest what you want. And there will always be third parties. Hall CL Mall. Thank you, my love, for that generous super chat. So hi, and thank you, Kim. Hi. I want to be happily married to someone. We fall in love at first sight. I'm working on self-concept to be worthy of my husband, having everything I want. Do I simply affirm both because I get confused on what to focus on? So self-concept is dominant. We usually focus on us and then the relationship and the person. So dominantly, the majority of your thoughts should be about your self-concept of being loved, valued, and respected as a wife, being chosen as a wife, right? That's what you need to see yourself as wifey material, that you are already the wife, because that has to be reflected. And then if you have, sorry, I'm like dropping stuff now. Okay, so I'm working to be worthy, do I simply affirm? Let me see, married to someone. So I don't know if this is a specific person or someone you don't know, but either way, you need to affirm how your husband sees you. He loves me. He cherishes me. He values me. This is the deepest, most beautiful, harmonious relationship we've ever experienced. We just get each other. We just love each other. We're just there for each other. It's such a support. Whatever it is you want to experience from that person, you just reinforce that too, or the relationship general. So like, let's say if you're thinking your thoughts all day and there's like, I don't know, 10 different thoughts you have, whatever, right? You want like 6 or 7 of them, if not more, to be about your self-concept as a wife and how amazing and incredible you are. And then the rest about your person and the relationship. That's really it. So just be mindful of that. And, I always start with me because we're the creators of our own reality. So the most important thing is to build your self concept up the best that you can in relation to whatever you're manifesting. Because as long as you're doing that, it's going to be really easy for you to accept the story of a specific person loving you and wanting you and choosing you, and accept the story of your future husband seeing you the way you want to be seen by them and have them show up the way you want if you know this is who you are. See, the reason why we can't hold the version of the person in our mind dominant enough that we want to experience is because we don't see ourselves as worthy to experience that from them. So if you don't believe this is who the fuck you are that can have this, then you can't sit here and affirm all day, which is why people can't. They keep going back to the old story because they don't feel good enough to fucking accept that. If you can't see yourself as fucking wifey and good enough, right? And I'm not saying you like this is what you're doing. I'm just generally speaking, but like if you can't hold the vision of you that I'm worthy and good enough to be fucking chosen and a priority, you're not going to be able to hold a favorable story of them wanting you and choosing you. It's impossible. You have to do both. But you got to come first because without your built up of you, your self concept, you can't see them differently, dominantly. All right, I think this is the last one. Dana, thank you, love. Been manifesting my boyfriend in marriage. I don't react to the 3D, but I still panic sometimes and affirm against it. And then he conforms, so I calm down. What should I do? Well, it sounds like you're doing everything right. I mean, you've been manifesting my boyfriend in marriage. I don't react to 3D, but I still panic. So that's reacting. Reacting to the 3D is not if you do something physically. Some people will behaviorally react to the 3D because internally they've already reacted. Reacting to the 3D means in my mind, I'm reacting to the 3D. I'm focusing on it. I'm feeding it. I'm giving it attention. I'm believing it's real. That's reacting to the 3D. So you did react to the 3D when you're panicking, okay? Because panicking, there's a story that's causing you to panic. So you're doing everything right. That means you're being triggered. And when you're being triggered, you're focusing on the story you want instead. That's what you do. That's how you reprogram triggers. So beautiful. You got it. Just keep doing it. Um, I would get in front of it a little bit, honestly, if it were me. I would really take notice of what am I still being triggered about because that's still the dominant story, and I would be reprogramming that throughout the day. Just so I'm reprogramming it. You still will be triggered, but instead of waiting for it to trigger you, if you already are aware if something keeps showing up, then you know, okay, this is still dominant. So let me start reprogramming it now rather than waiting for it to unfold unfavorably. You know what I mean? But you're doing it right, girl. That's exactly what you want to do. All right, guys. I love you. I will see you. Have a Merry Christmas, those of you that celebrate Christmas, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.